Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us begin with the headlines. Government introduces Aadhaar Bill 2016 in Lok Sabha after withdrawing National Identification Authority of India Bill 2010 from the upper house. Congress protests against bill being presented as a money bill. Lok Sabha Speaker to decide. JNU-SU President Kanhaiya Kumar walks out of the Aadhaar jail, addresses students at JNU campus, hits out at Prime Minister, says he does not want freedom from India but wants freedom in India. Arunachal Chief Minister, 29 Congress rebels merge with lone regional party of state, the People's Party of Arunachal. Former Chief Minister Nabam Tuki calls illegal and unconstitutional the merger. BJP and the AGP formalize the alliance for assembly elections in Assam. However, anger among local party workers over seat sharing that gives BJP a larger share. And North Korean leader Kim Jong-un urges military for nuclear readiness a day after UN slams fresh sanctions on it. The National Democratic Alliance introduced the Aadhaar Bill 2016 in the Lok Sabha on Thursday. The bill seeks to make the use of Aadhaar mandatory for availing government subsidies. The opposition Congress, however, questioned the attempt to introduce it as a money bill.
The principal purpose, the pith and substance of this bill is that whoever gets the benefits of any form of government subsidies, an Aadhaar card production may be necessary.
Finance Minister Arun Gandhi introduced the Aadhaar Bill 2016. The bill was presented as a money bill.
Have been money bills. Workmen Injuries Act has been a money bill.
Jaitley assured the House that the bill has adequate safeguards for privacy and protection of personal information.
Section 9, this Aadhaar number will not confer any citizenship. There is a categorical declaration in the bill. Section 28, security and confidentiality of information, of the information has been squarely addressed, and therefore the grounds of privacy on which it was challenged has already been addressed in this particular bill. All that the bill says is, if you want the benefit of a government subsidy, the government can ask you to produce an Aadhaar number. That's all. That's all it says.
The bill will ensure that all government benefits, including subsidies and services, are provided through the Aadhaar card.
And that the real beneficiaries must get governmental expenditure.
The Congress objected to its introduction as a money bill, while the BJD expressed concern that the biometric details provided in the card could be misused.
Parliament, 92 crore people are involved.
One minute. No, we are ready to cooperate with that bill, but he should not introduce as a money bill as routine. Because to avoid Rajya Sabha, they are making it as a money bill.
Will Aadhaar number be an evidence of citizenship or domicile? That was a point of concern, and that has been mentioned in this bill. The other concern that was in my mind was whether adequate firewall has been created to protect the privacy of every member.
The government is hoping that giving constitutional status to the Aadhaar card will check corruption, while the fact that it is being brought as a money bill will ensure its passage in the Rajya Sabha, where it does not have a majority.
All that the bill says is,
the Speaker will now decide if it can be treated as a money bill. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the government also withdrew the National Identification Authority of India Bill 2010 in the Rajya Sabha. The withdrawal was necessitated following introduction of a bill on the subject. Remember, the centre had introduced the Aadhaar Bill 2016 in the Lok Sabha yesterday, which is a money bill. The opposition objected to making the new bill into a money bill.
The Honourable Leader of the House and the Finance Minister.
The government withdrew the National Identification Authority of India Bill 2010 in Rajya Sabha on Thursday. The bill sought to establish the National Identification Authority of India in order to issue identification numbers to citizens. Opposition members expressed concern about the government's intent in the upper house, while introducing a similar bill in the lower house.
We will have a serious objection if this particular legislation is declared as a money bill,
if any question arises whether a bill is a money bill or not, the decision of the Speaker of the House of the people thereon shall be final. If the question arises, now otherwise there is a let-down procedure how a bill should be treated as money bill or not. Therefore, even though thereafter, if any question arises that whether this particular bill comes under the purview of Article 110 A, B, C, D, E, F, G or not, then the decision of the Speaker will be final. My question is whether any question arose before the Speaker or not.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley clarified that the new bill is different from the one that was being withdrawn.
The government has given a very serious thought to this matter. The new bill, and when it comes to this House, this Honourable House will get an opportunity to discuss it, is substantially and significantly different from the earlier bill. The earlier bill was designed in both pith and substance as a unique identification, and it dealt with that subject. The present bill, the core of the present bill is that those who want the benefits of any monies or subsidies from the Consolidated Fund of India, the targeting of that expenditure must be to the deserving. And therefore, that bill creates a machinery for that particular identification.
The Deputy Chairman also clarified that the certification of any bill as money bill is the domain of Lok Sabha Speaker and it cannot be discussed in the upper house.
See, to certify a bill, whether it is a money bill or not, it is totally, fully the prerogative of the Honourable Speaker of the Lok Sabha. As far as I am concerned, or for that matter, Honourable Chairman is concerned, we have nothing to do with that. That is a position. It is a constitutional position.
The Leader of Opposition also sought the government's assurance that the new bill, the Aadhaar Bill 2016 that was introduced in the lower house on Thursday, will be sent to the Standing Committee. The government, however, gave no such assurance. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now to some other news. Well, hours after JNU-SU President Kanhaiya Kumar was released from jail on Thursday, he made a speech at the campus where he took on the BJP government and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying that the university and its students were deliberately targeted. He insisted that the students wanted freedom in India, not freedom from India. Well, his speech got a thumbs up by the students who were present there to witness and who later took out a march as well as from the opposition parties.
तो हमारे यहाँ रेलवे स्टेशन पे जिसको स्टेशन कहा जाता है, वहाँ पर जादू का खेल होता है। जादूगर दिखाएगा जादू, बेचेगा अंगूठी, मनपसंद अंगूठी, और जिसकी जो इच्छा है वो अंगूठी पूर्ण कर देगी, ऐसा जादूगर कहता है। इस देश के भी कुछ नीति निर्माता हैं, वो कहते हैं काला धन आएगा, हर हर मोदी, महंगाई कम होगी, बहुत हो गई, सही मत सही है, अब की बार ले आइए, सबका साथ सबका विकास।
JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar taking on the Narendra Modi-led government in a fiery speech on the university campus late last night, hours after his release from Tihar jail. Creating nothing short of a magic show himself in the JNU campus, where hundreds of students cheered and clapped as he attacked the ruling dispensation in an impassioned speech, the student leader said the government was trying to suppress dissent.
जेएनयू के आवाज को दबाना, जेएनयू को डिलेजिटिमेट करना, इस संघर्ष को खत्म करना, लेकिन हम उनको कहना चाहते हैं कि इस संघर्ष को तुम दबा नहीं पाओगे, तुम जितना दबाओगे हम उतना खड़ा होंगे। जेएनयू के छात्र आजादी मांगते हैं, भारत से नहीं, भारत को लूटने वालों से आजादी मांगते हैं। हम लोग एक बार फिर से लगाएंगे।
Earlier, Kanhaiya's name was cleared in a Delhi government inquiry. The report said it had found no evidence that Kumar raised anti-national slogans at an event on 9th of February to mark the anniversary of the hanging of Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru. Earlier, Kanhaiya's name was cleared in a Delhi government inquiry. The report said it had found no evidence that Kumar raised anti-national slogans at an event on 9th of February to mark the anniversary of the hanging of Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru. Kanhaiya's speech got the approval of BJP's detractors. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal lauded the speech in a tweet, while CPIM leader Sitaram Yechuri tweeted, "Lal Salam, Comrade Kanhaiya."
ये संस्थागत अटैक है, ये मुद्दा ही नहीं है कि कौन गलत है और किसे सजा मिलनी है। ये मुद्दा यह है कि संस्था को समाप्त करना है, संस्था को अटैक करना है, संस्था को बदनाम करना है।
किसी को बेल हो सकता है, कोई आदमी जिंदगी भर जेल में थोड़ी रहेगा। कन्हैया को भी जो मिला कुछ शर्तों के साथ मिला है। उनको शर्त लगाई गई है कि वो कोई ऐसा काम नहीं करेंगे जो राष्ट्र विरोधी कार्य हो।
High Court granted the bail, and as far as we are concerned, we have been holding the position. Whatever evidence that Delhi police produced, they were all fabricated, doctored.
Earlier, the Delhi High Court had granted Kanhaiya interim bail for 6 months, imposing conditions that include an undertaking that he will not take part in any anti-national activities. He was arrested on 12th of February in connection with the event to protest the hanging of Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru, during which anti-national slogans were allegedly raised. 2 other JNU students, Omar Khalid and Anirban Bhattacharya, were also arrested in connection with the same event and are charged with sedition. They are presently under judicial custody. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Well, news from the northeast, where the BJP and the AGP have formalized their alliance for the assembly elections in Assam. Now, announcing the alliance, the BJP said that the contest in the northeastern state is between all indigenous people led by it on one side and the Congress and the UDF on the other. AGP, which has ruled the state on its own twice, will play the junior partner and contest 24 seats, while the remaining in the 126-member House will be divided among the BJP and 3 smaller outfits, with the Saffron Party leading the alliance. Now, BJP has already entered into a tie-up with Bodoland People's Front, which will contest 16 seats, besides the 2 other outfits representing local tribes. Now, infiltration, unemployment and corruption have been cited as the major issues that the alliance will fight against. The BJP-led alliance will come out with a common minimum program. However, not all is well with the seat-sharing arrangement in the alliance. Now, a large section of the local leaders and workers of the BJP and the AGP burnt effigies of senior party leaders and threatened to put up independent candidates against official nominees. They also resorted to vandalism. The alliance's chief ministerial candidate is Union Minister Sarbanand Sonowal.
इस बार के चुनाव में हमारा मुख्य मुद्दा 2 होगा. Number 1, to free Assam of the corrupt, non-development and mal-governance of the present Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi for the last about 15 years, the Congress government led by him, which had led to a lot of suffering for the state of Assam. आज के इस समझौते के बाद हम आसाम में बदलाव की राजनीति एंड गुड गवर्नेंस एंड नेशनल सिक्योरिटी, इसको लेकर चुनाव अभियान के मुद्दे बनाएंगे.
AGP was in power for 2 terms. But yes, we have also failed to fulfill the aspirations of the people. Mainly, we have failed to detect and delete the names of the foreigners from the voters list and to deport the foreigners. Because main hurdle was there, IMDT was the main hurdle that time. But Congress was in power for continuously for 3 consecutive terms. But they did nothing. They always depend on the vote banks of the foreigners.
The seat sharing should be respectfully done. And it should be, AGP should be also given the importance, because AGP formed the government 2 times in Assam, not BJP. And therefore, AGP people wanted that this alliance should be, may arrive with respectfully, because they must be given the due respect and attention to the AGP, and equally better to go together after find out a solution of this problem, seat sharing problem.
More news from Assam, where Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will today be on a 2-day visit to the state ahead of the forthcoming assembly elections. Rahul Gandhi will be meeting party cadres and interact with the traders and small business representatives. He will then address a rally in Nagaon district. He is also slated to hold public meetings, followed by interactions with the tribal leaders from autonomous councils. The Congress leader is to go on a march on Saturday with the hopes of establishing relations with the tribal population, with the AGP entering into an alliance with the BJP for the upcoming elections. Rahul Gandhi's presence is expected to boost the morale of the party workers in the state. Rahul had last visited the state in the month of February. We'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
We have only exploited less than 1% of the, you can say, the microorganisms that exist in the world. Technology is coming up through which we can culture these microorganisms, and I mean, like, they can be a source of novel bioactive molecules. We are living in basically post-antibiotic era right now. It becomes even more important to look for the newer molecules and newer scaffolds which can overcome the resistance.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Bhaval Ali Shah, scientist at CSIR IIIM, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. News coming in from Arunachal Pradesh, where the Chief Minister Kalikopol and 29 Congress MLAs, including Speaker Wangki Lowang, have merged with the People's Party of Arunachal, that is the lone regional party of the state. Now, 2 Congress MLAs who were earlier supporting Nabam Tuki joined the Pul camp last night. With this defection, the Congress has been reduced to 15 MLAs in the state, which has an effective strength of 58 in the assembly. The BJP has 11 MLAs in the 60-member house with 2 independents. Pul has said that the decision was made keeping in mind the overall development of the state. He also alleged that the Congress's high command did not pay heed to their demand for a change in leadership. Meanwhile, former Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Nabam Tuki termed the merger as illegal and unconstitutional. He said, and I quote him now, "How can they do this when a 5-bench constitutional bench of the Supreme Court is already hearing the case and the judgment is being reserved? They do not have the required quorum for defection, as the Speaker had disqualified 14 members, and the case has been referred by the Apex Court to the Guwahati High Court, directing it to dispose it within 2 weeks' time, which will end on 6th of March next. And in Kerala, in an embarrassment, the ruling Congress-led UDF ahead of the coming assembly elections. Now, one of its partners, Kerala Congress M, split with a group of rebels led by former MP Francis George. Now, this faction is accusing its chief KM Mani of functioning unilaterally. The rebels allege that dynastic rule is prevailing in the KCM, with Mani trying to make his son as the leader of the party. The rebels say that it is difficult for any Kerala Congress worker with self-respect to continue in the party. The rebel leaders also allege that Mani, who has resigned as the finance minister over the bar bribery scam, was trying to take the party into the fold of the BJP and Sangh Parivar, which is a total deviation from the party's ideology. And 2 CRPF commandos were killed, while over a dozen were injured in multiple encounters between security forces and Naxals on Thursday in Chhattisgarh's worst Maoist violence-affected Sukma district. Officials said that while the 2 commandos succumbed to their bullet injuries late evening, at least 14 others, including team leader and Commandant P.S. Yadav, were injured. They said that the patrol team encountered multiple ambushes and firefights beginning at 12:30 p.m. and some teams of the squad till late night was still engaging in intermittent gunfire with the Naxals in the area. The officials said that the men belong to the 208th Cobra Battalion and have been air evacuated and sent to a hospital. Security forces, including those from CRPF, Cobra and State Police, were combing the area till late. Moving on to some international news now, and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has urged his military for nuclear readiness a day after UN slapped fresh sanctions on it. Meanwhile, the US said that it cannot confirm whether North Korea fired projectiles on Thursday.
Tensions are high up in the Korean peninsula. North Korea's Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un turned its military posture to preemptive attack mode a day after UN slapped expanded sanctions on Pyongyang for its nuclear activities last month. North Korea is all set to use its nuclear weapons anytime. Pentagon urged Pyongyang to refrain from provocative actions. However, the US could not confirm if North Korea fired missiles hours after the UN Security Council decided to impose sanctions on Thursday.
Please raise their hands.
China, meanwhile, urged for restraint. South Korean president also warned North to abandon its nuclear ambitions.
If true that they fired off these missiles, it would just be another example of increasingly provocative, unnecessarily provocative conduct by Pyongyang. That only underscores the importance of the resolution that was passed yesterday and the resolve of the international community in a unified way to enact more robust measures.
朝鲜半岛局势复杂敏感，我们希望各方都不要再采取引发局势紧张的行动。中方反对在半岛部署。
Early on Thursday, the UN Security Council unanimously voted to impose some of its strongest ever sanctions against North Korea. North Korea has previously threatened preemptive attacks on its enemies, including South Korea, Japan, and the United States. North Korea's state-run media did not mention when the military drills will take place, but warned the new weapons had South Korea within range, a ticking bomb which could further strain its relations with Seoul. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And all of the international stories now in World Wrap. In the latest warning for Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, 2012 presidential nominee Mitt Romney said that Trump is not fit to run the country. Speaking in Utah, Romney accused Trump of bullying, misogyny and dishonesty. Trump hit back, mocking Romney as a failed candidate. A week into the ceasefire in Syria, the UN envoy said that visible progress has been made in the war-torn country. His comments came in the wake of a sharp drop in the number of civilian deaths. According to Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a total of 73 civilians were killed in the last 5 days. French President François Hollande has warned of consequences if UK exits EU. France threatened it could end UK border controls in Calais and its economy may suffer. However, Brexit campaigners dismissed the claims as scaremongering. And moving on to some sports news, and today is the 10th in the last match of the Asia Cup T20 tournament group stage, where Pakistan and Sri Lanka will battle for pride after both countries failed to qualify for the final. Sri Lankan team has been going through a period of transition after the retirements of Mahela Jayawardene and Kumar Sangakkara. An injury to regular captain Lasith Malinga only added to their problems, and the new ones have not come out good as yet for the team. Pakistan's story too has been pretty similar like the Lankan one. After all the hype around PSI fizzled out, Pakistan team could not translate their T20 momentum into international success. Further, they did a lot of chopping and changing with their squad and adding a lot of players, but they did not do well. The last league match gives them a chance for redemption. And more sporting action now in Sportsbeat. PV Sindhu stormed into the quarterfinals of the German Grand Prix Gold. Sindhu is past Michelle Lee of Canada 21-9, 21-17 in one-sided second-round encounter and will next face fourth-seeded Wang Xian. In the men's match, K. Srikanth and Parupalli Kashyap advanced to the pre-quarterfinals after notching up contrasting victories. In tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic and his Serbian team is shelling sweat at the court for their Davis Cup World Group tie against Kazakhstan today. Djokovic and his team is preparing to help Serbia win for the first time since 2010. Djokovic has now recovered from an eye infection which caused him to quit during his match against Feliciano Lopez in Dubai last week. Djokovic will play the opening match on Friday against Alexander Nedvesov, followed by Viktor Troicki taking on Mikhail Kukushin. South Africa's Constitutional Court has rejected Oscar Pistorius' last-ditch attempt to appeal against his murder conviction for shooting dead his girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp. The Paralympic champion has been on bail awaiting a new sentence since December when the Supreme Court of Appeal found him guilty of murder. The SCA overturned his earlier conviction on the lesser charge of culpable homicide. Pistorius could face at least 15 years in jail when he attends a sentencing on 18th of April. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach announced that the team of refugees will compete at this year's Rio de Janeiro Olympics, and the number of refugee players could be as many as 10 athletes. The team, which was officially approved by the IOC Executive Board and called the Team of Refugee Olympics Athletes, will be made up from a pool of 43 prospective Olympians already identified by the IOC and supported with funds to train. Well, that's all in this edition of news. Coming up ahead is Parliament news in both English and Hindi. Thanks for watching.